Well folks, just taking a little breather, not quite at the top, but we've just been climbing up Doghouse Lane out of Tomerden. If you know it, you know what a beast of a climb it is. 2 stops today, but one of them was just to set up the little ride by on the GoPro, so I'm not going to count that. You do get to this sort of almost top section though, and the views just start opening up. They're absolutely spectacular, and you can see the steep-sided valley there. That's where we've come from, down the towpath into Tomerden. It's just the top of Dobroyd Castle there. Tomerden's out of sight. Studley Pike just peeping up behind the rooftop there, that farm. It's yeah, it's fantastic, and it's a really short trip out today, just getting a bit of a late summer sun, a bit of vitamin D, and I wanted a big climb, so one of the local beasts for me is this Doghouse Lane, and it goes right up onto Tomerden Moor, which is where we're heading, and then we're going to just drop down the other side down towards Cliviger. So yeah, really a short little trip, and I'm on the touring bike today. I'm on the steel frame Spar Cycles Cadillac. And this little video as I go around, I thought I'd just share a few thoughts about different bike frame materials, and there's quite a few choices now, whether it's steel or carbon or titanium or good old-fashioned aluminium, which I suspect many of our first bikes were made of. Yeah, and just my thoughts on whether I think there's actually any difference in terms of like ride feel and ride quality between those different bike frame materials. So yeah, different bike frame materials. I guess the perceived wisdom goes something like steel is very smooth, springy, great quality ride, easy to repair because it's weldable, and you can get nice sleek kind of thin tubing out of it because it's incredibly strong. Aluminium is a rougher ride, but it's easily available and very affordable. A lot of low-end bikes are made out of aluminium for those reasons, I guess. Carbon can be engineered to be incredibly kind of stiff, like around bottom bracket areas, or actually quite compliant as well, so you get a really nice efficient high performance type ride. And titanium has that great mix of like durability and strength, I suppose, in terms of that material. And you know, heaven forbid I ever had a bike just like topple over and land hard on a concrete surface or something. You know, I definitely know the sort of material I'd prefer that bike to be made out of, to give me less of a heart attack. So that's a consideration, and you know, maintenance and durability is a factor as well. But I think in these comments I'm really going to focus on ride quality and comfort, and whether the material makes any difference. So I'm just getting distracted by these stunning views. This is I think we're just about to crest the sort of top of Tomerden Moor. I think technically it's that over on the left, but that's mountain biking territory. We're just going up and over this little single track here. It's got a real top of the world feel to it, and when I get to the top of the world in a minute, we'll carry on the conversation. Whew. Okay, just at the top here, and we can see all the way down and out towards North Lancashire. It is lovely. And then back into the mighty California. It's a bit breezy. I haven't brought any GoPro attachments or anything, so I can't film this beautiful descent. But yeah, well worth the effort to get up here. That's the long causeway, a great sort of shelf road. That's the Bridestones Moor. Yeah, you can see it all from up here. Superb. Yeah, like I think many of us, my first road bike was an Aluminium. It was a cheap Carrera from Halfords, and I absolutely loved it. I did John O'Groats to Land's End on it and never had any issues with it at all. And I sort of upgraded a little bit and got a slightly posher Aluminium bike, and then, if I'm being totally honest, hand on heart, I then got a little bit snobby and thought, well, if I'm getting into road biking, I've got to have a carbon, carbon free road bike, obviously. And then I've really arrived as a kind of a road cyclist, so I bought the carbon road bike that I've got now, and it's a little bit lighter. It certainly descends a bit better, and it really takes off when you let go of the brakes. It's a little bit more aerodynamic, I suppose. But in terms of ride quality and ride feel, I'll be totally honest, I can't really tell the difference, to be honest. And that might be a combination of factors. It's maybe the fact that my carbon bike and my Aluminium bike, they're not high end or anything, so this is not like super duper performance engineering bikes. I'm not high end cyclist, I'm not looking at and I don't notice these little micro gains and micro differences, and the sort of riding that I do is very much pottering, pootling around, so maybe I'm not testing these bikes to the absolute limits of their performance. But it could also be the fact that there genuinely isn't much difference between Aluminium and carbon these days on sort of modern-ish road bikes. Let's just get off the tops here, and then we'll continue the conversation. Oh, how nice is this? Well, a much gentler descent now down Burnley Road back into Tobberden. Tell you what, on a bright sunny day, this valley does look superb. Doing quite well for time, so I think when we get to Todd I might see if I can dive in and grab a late lunch. Because we can. Well folks, a little pint and sit down in the shade for 20 minutes, and we're just back on the Rochdale Canal, heading homeward now. I think this is a little spot where I actually reviewed this bike a few months ago at the start of the year, but yeah, I mean, whilst I think I've already mentioned the Aluminium carbon differences is really lost on me, if I'm being honest, in terms of ride comfort and ride quality. I can definitely feel an improved quality and comfort on the steel frame, and on the road bike that I've got that's got a steel frame. I think it's largely due to that amazing sort of curved fork that you can get on steel frame bikes, and it just soaks up all the buzz on the road, and it really does give you that sort of smooth, springy ride that I think steel frame bikes are pretty well known for. I've never owned a titanium frame bike. I've ridden one a couple of times, and again, I can't really tell the difference. I suppose if I was ever looking at those kind of frames, it would be more about, there's no paint to scratch, the longevity is really good in terms of kind of maintenance and the hardiness of that material. I think it's, for those reasons, you might maybe consider those kind of frames. So yeah, I don't know, frame material for me is not a big deal, to be honest, and I've definitely reversed my snobbery about Aluminium frame bikes and Aluminium frame road bikes, and next time looking at a road bike, I've no idea what I'm going to go with ultimately, but I certainly won't discount and sort of turn my nose up at the good old trusty Aluminium frames. I think there's a lot of other things that are more important, much more important than the frame material that you ultimately go with, and that for me would be things like, you know, does the bike fit you? Have you got a comfortable saddle? Is it set up properly? Have you got the right tyre pressure? I think all of those things sort of in isolation and together mean a lot more, certainly mean a lot more to me as a kind of average Joe type rider, poodles around, you know. I'm not in the performance space in terms of, you know, the cycling community. I think those kind of things mean a lot more than, you know, what material your bike frame's made out of. But I don't know, do you agree? Have you got your heart set on, are you sort of sold on a particular type of frame, to a particular type of frame material? You know, do you really swear by that and swear that it genuinely makes a difference to the ride comfort, the ride feel? Or are you a bit like me? Actually, if you're being honest, if you were injected with truth serum, you can't really tell the difference. And you know, it's interesting hearing all the razzmatazz around different types of material and the different feel and different dynamics it brings to the ride, but you know, how much of that is just marketing BS and how much of that is real? Yeah, I don't think there's a lot in it personally, but really interested in your thoughts, and let me know in the comments down below, as they say in YouTube lands. But yeah, from here in the Rochdale Canal, it's a scorcher today, but it's so nice in the shade. We've got these trees just giving us a bit of cover. But yeah, stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and happy cycling always. I'll see you out on the roads or the trails very soon, no doubt. Bye.